PFL featherweight champion Movlid Khaybulaev has been suspended for 1 year for a doping violation. He tested positive for recombinant erythropoietin, with the failing sample collected at the in-competition period during the PFL World Tournament Finals on August 1st, 2025. REPO is a banned substance known for increasing red blood cell production, which significantly improves an athlete's endurance and oxygen carrying capacity. The PFL released a statement saying the PFL has been notified by USADA that athlete Movlid Khaybulaev tested positive for a banned substance following his bout at the 2025 PFL World Tournament Finals held on August 1st in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Pursuant to PFL rules and regulations, Khaybulaev has been disqualified from the 2025 PFL World Tournament. As a result of the disqualification under PFL rules, Khaybulaev forfeits the distinction of 2025 PFL Featherweight Tournament Champion, the championship belt, and all associated bonus awards. The PFL maintains a zero-tolerance policy toward the use of performance-enhancing substances and remains fully committed to the highest standards of fair competition, athlete safety, and integrity in sport. Many people were quick to point out that Khaybulaev is friends and training partners with Khabib and Islam. Aljamain Sterling reacted saying, "People think these drug tests stop fighters or any athlete from cheating. Y'all kill me. There's so many people on it still. I respect all athletes, but how do you respect willful cheating? You can't and you shouldn't." This user replied saying, "Those Dagestan guys are all on EPO or some PEDs, trust me bro." Aljo replied saying, "I won't say that, but I will say a lot of these guys are really on shit. If you feel mentally and physically weak, then don't f***ing compete. Shit is weird." Brendan Loughnane, who fought Khaybulaev back in 2021 and lost by split decision, reacted saying, "This fight literally cost me millions of dollars. Lost a split decision to a known cheater. Sport is wild." Arman Tsarukyan won his grappling match yesterday at ACBJJ 20, submitting his opponent via rear naked choke.
Больше тарелки не было?
Нет, нормально.
Надеюсь, хватит. Сезон хаша открыт. Настоящий коллаген. То, что нужно после соревнований.
Tony Ferguson is set to box Warren Spencer at Misfits Mania this weekend. Tony revealed that he recently reached out to Brock Lesnar for advice about retirement. For those who may not know, Brock served as Tony's coach on The Ultimate Fighter 13 back in 2011, a season Tony went on to win. In an interview with MMAfighting.com, Tony said, "I asked Coach Brock, I said, 'Coach, what do guys like us do when we retire?' I value his opinion. And he said, 'You know what, Tony? Find your second passion and follow that with everything you've got like you did your first. Sports is my passion. I love sports, I love competing. I love competing at a high level, a very high level." Yoel Romero is set to face Lorenzo Hunt at BKFC's Knucklemania 6 on February 7th. At yesterday's press conference, Hunt took Romero's drink, refused to shake his hand, and mocked him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lorenzo Hunt is in the building.
The people pay the pay-per-view, the people want to pay, the people say, hey, the people want to see the pay-per-view, the people pay, so let's give the people what the people want.
Something says Lorenzo Hunt's going to have even more to say, so we'll keep things moving. We'll go to another.
It will take place February 7th, Philadelphia, PA, Xfinity Mobile Arena. You can watch live fight up at BKFC.com. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'll tell you, we're going to see a Knucklemania 6 in the co-main event of a great night of fights. Yoel Romero versus one of the greatest ever do it, the champ, Lorenzo, the Juggernaut Hunt.
Back in 2020, Henry Cejudo defended his bantamweight title against Dominick Cruz, stopping him by TKO in the second round. Cruz was furious with the stoppage, saying it came too early, and has held animosity towards referee Keith Peterson ever since. At the time, Cruz famously claimed that Peterson smelled like alcohol and cigarettes. This week, Herb Dean appeared on Cruz's new podcast, where the two revisited the stoppage, and Henry Cejudo has responded.
And I'm going in there and I wanted to talk about it because I did get caught, okay? First of all, I'm going to take responsibility.
Oh, you have it up here.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, I shouldn't have gotten hit with a knee. Fair, right? But in a fight, does that happen? Of course it does. Yeah, he came in when I'm on my way up. Right. But I'm looking me on my feet. And like, that's all I can do. That's my job. They say defend yourself at all times. And it's not like I was just laying there. Look, I'm still moving.
Okay, so if anything, I'm gonna say, like, as far as from a referee trigger, I'm not trying to say that I would have made that stop or would not have.
Yeah.
But what I will say is I think that you're taking shots, because this is actually the first time watching it. And I know as a referee, when he made the decision, because he makes a decision and then you see the decision activate. So I think he made the decision when you're moving and then a punch came and your head hit the ground. So if you rewind back.
It stays on the ground.
Okay, no, watch. So your head's up and then briefly, right there, that's when he made his decision.
I mean, it's off the ground.
Hold on. No, right before rewind back.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, right?
Okay, so I know it's off the ground then. I'm just talking about that's when,
I'm
let's
moving.
say watch it. Boom. Okay, now go.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Let it go. See, and that's when he shoots in. So that's what I'm saying.
When my head went down for a second to get up.
The way a referee
how you can see his position.
Why a referee thinks it through. We say, okay, so he's in a bad situation. He's hurt. He's coming through. But now what I'm looking for is, and you're here, heads off the ground, hands on the ground. I'm looking for, okay, man, I can't let him just stay here for too long, but I'm looking for him to improve. If he goes what I consider worse, then I'm going to stop the fight. So I'm waiting for him to improve, and then boom, a punch comes and the head lays down on the thing. That's when he made the decision and he shoots in. He doesn't know how long you're going to be out. And as he's shooting in, you're coming up and improving. In his mind, I bet you he's like, man, if I could have, but for you to be in trouble and instead of improving right then and go down for a second, I think that's when he made the decision.
Henry Cejudo reacted to that clip with a bunch of laughing crying emojis. Dom responded saying, Henry, you're welcome on the pod to chat anytime you like. I'll have a booster chair for your seat, and we can have retirement cigarettes and alcohol. Merab Dvalishvili spars with Mark Zuckerberg, and the two actually went pretty hard for 3 rounds.
Find that range right away, nice. Hold your range. Let's counter, let's go. Nice. On the fence. Beautiful. There we go, small shots, top. Keep moving, beautiful. It's there. Beautiful. Right hook. Okay, body lock against the fence. Nice.
Back to your corners.
I think he's getting tired, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Just keep the pressure up.
Keep it clean. Okay.
Yes. Trying to get the kicking range.
Cover. Hands up. Defense. Yes, circle.
Keep hitting. Keep going. Top. Keep going. Yeah, Mark.
Cut the corner.
Double. Yeah, beautiful. Big combos. Here we go. Up, head up, drive. Knee. 2, 1, time. Relentless.
Hands up, Merab. Hands up. Good luck. Good fight. Okay.
Tyron Woodley is set to box Anderson Silva tomorrow on the Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua card. In a recent interview with MMAfighting.com, Woodley admits that he was living a quote-unquote rockstar lifestyle while he was the UFC welterweight champion, which eventually led to his downfall. Woodley said, "At that time in my career, I lost focus and I was focusing too much on the lifestyle and too much on the things that came along with it. Women, partying, not like drinking and drugs and stuff, but just being at the Maxim 100 party. I was invited everywhere and I just became a socialite. I feel like that took the place that the focal point should have been in. I was fueling and I was feeding, and I was basically sponsoring the 10-year-old Tyron that couldn't get a pair of name brand shoes, that these girls wasn't trying to talk to him. I was giving myself everything that I didn't have when I was younger. I'm like, why am I being the goody two-shoes? Why am I doing all this other stuff and all these other champions are doing whatever the hell they want to do and still being blessed and still having success? I just started living two different lives. I was a great father, I was a great athlete, I was a terrible husband, and I was living a rock star life. But nobody was out working me, nobody was out training me, and nobody was out parenting me. Them things I was better than a fighter. But when it came down to the other spots, I thought those things were separate. They're not. They're all combined together. I fooled myself into think they were separate and they weren't." Rampage Jackson says he will not be getting his son Raja any Christmas gifts this year. I think most of you guys know why.
Raja, they ain't getting for Christmas this year. They can kiss my black but my youngest 3 kids, they're gonna have a real good Christmas. But my daughter, I don't know.
More details have emerged regarding Ilia Topuria's ongoing divorce from his wife Georgina. Georgina has allegedly claimed that she was the victim of domestic abuse and made financial demands in exchange for not pursuing a formal complaint. According to these new reports, the couple decided to split in August. Negotiations over the breakup began based solely on financial demands Georgina put on the table. In late October, early November, Ilia Topuria filed a civil separation lawsuit with terms said to be reasonable and focused on shared matters including their child. After being notified of the separation filing, Georgina began looking for a lawyer to represent her, at which point she alleged that she was the victim of abuse. She claimed to have evidence that would put Ilia in a very difficult position. She demanded a large sum of money from Ilia in exchange for not pursuing the abuse complaint. Her financial demands were extremely high, with Ilia agreeing to all requests. The moment she found out about the separation filing, she formally filed an abuse complaint. Despite this, no restraining order, arrest, or official notification has been issued against Ilia. Georgina tried for months to make this story public and even considered making a public appearance while displaying certain material. Georgina is also allegedly having a hard time finding a lawyer. Ilia has stated that he has audio, messages, and videos that prove his innocence. He will proceed likely against her for attempted extortion, falsification of evidence, and theft of money. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Cameron D. Aaron. It says, "I love Bad Guy Tom. 2026 heel Tom is going to be cinema." The second one's from Stuart Balderston. It says, "Why give Tyron Woodley so much time to say absolutely nothing? That was painful." And the final one's from Zexter33. It says, "John has gone from snorting it to smoking it now. Crazy." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.